Live from Chicago, kinda Illinois. This is Ray and Dan and Ray,
And I'm Dan, and I'm in LA, and we
and
are
we
so excited.
the.
Love the movies.
That's
Just
right. Dan and Ray love the movies. I'm trying to do it. We can both talk at the same time, but Google doesn't let us kind of talk at the same time. So Dan and Ray love the movies. It's all about us loving the movies. My name is Ray, and my buddy Dan is on the left coast, as they call it, out in LA. We've known each other for many, many years, and we love the movies. Right, Dan?
well said, Ray. And we've wanted to do this for the longest time. We've had friends tell us, geez, we love it when you guys talk about the movies. So now the technology has caught up with us. We're going to have to practice how to not talk while the other guy's talking, but we think we can make this work. What better way to start than with the most anticipated movie, probably in our lifetimes? That's right, folks. The Force Awakens.
Dun, 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 dun. So anyway, yes, and in here this is Monopoly Star Wars, but more importantly, when I was a kid, Star Wars the book, and you might say as you're watching this, there was a book. There was a book because it was so big, right, Dan? The movie was so huge, even more huge than it is now. Do you think it was bigger then than it is now? Not money wise, but popularity wise.
Well, that's a great point, Ray. And actually, it's almost like a reverse. When it started in 1977, it was nothing. There was no anticipation. There was no preview of something coming that would be any different than any other movie. Then it hit, and it was a world changer, a game changer. But now we're 40 years farther down the road. The Force Awakens has turned into the most anticipated film, I think, in our lifetimes.
Yes.
And thank goodness, not a disappointment.
Not a disappointment at all. And I'll tell you, the coolest thing when I first saw it in the film, in the movie theaters, was that the excitement, the thrilling, and of course you can see the different generations behind me. And now, of course, the shirt that I got from, you ready for this? My parents got this for me for Christmas. That's how cool this film is. And I have to tell you, I also have here, in case anybody wants this, if anybody sees this, email me, raydelcourt14251 at Gmail. We've got our own Gmail, but actually, Dan and Ray love the movies at gmail.com. I will send this to you. You will receive a free shuttle service for 25 shekels. I don't know what it is. But anyway. But Dan, real quick, tell us the first time you saw this movie, where you saw it at, if you remember. The first movie, not this one, the first one.
The first Star Wars movie for me was more even than just when I saw it. It was when my son saw it. So the movie came out. My older brother, Mike, picked my son, Michael, up in his Porsche 911. They drove away to go see Star Wars. And when they came back, they couldn't stop talking about it. Then I saw it, and I couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, right. Well, I tell you what, I remember my brother, we lived about 8 blocks from the movie theater, and my brother, who's a couple years younger than me, just a huge fan, saw the movie 12 times. and my mom and dad back then, now it's a badge of honor. People are like, oh, my kid saw it 12. They were so mad. I think he got grounded for it. But a huge fan, and it means a lot. These films mean a lot to people, not because of what it is that I saw a movie, Dan, but it means a lot to them in their minds and their hearts of what they stand for. For good versus evil, and standing up for what you believe in. Don't you think?
Absolutely. So let's talk about the new film.
Yes. Yes.
Anticipated for years. New director. The guy who invented Star Wars is not part of the project. I think much to the relief of many people, because they felt that George Lucas kind of lost his way with the prequels. So I walked into the theater. It was an IMAX theater, 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. This is the weekend it opened. And actually, I felt late not getting there till 6 o'clock Sunday morning. I was the first guy in the theater at 5:15. And it was really cool, Ray, because, usually they clear out the trash after each show.
Right.
But this movie was so crowded that when a full house empties, all they have time to do is go kind of grab all the packages. So I walk into an empty theater that looked like a popcorn bomb had gone off, sat down, and in 45 minutes, every chair was full. The theater went dark. There wasn't a sound. There wasn't a cell phone. And the movie came up. The new characters are so fabulous. J.J. Abrams did exactly the right thing. He told a continuing story with new characters, but reinforced by bringing back the original characters. It was marvelous.
Now, do you think it was strange? And by the way, here's my Princess Leia Star Wars bubble bath. Now, do you think it was strange that all of a sudden Rocky shows up at the second act? I thought that was strange for me. But regardless, I don't want to spoiler alert. I know.
Change of pace. Wanted to do something different.
But you know what? I agree. And I think what's really cool about the movie is, and much like in Creed, and again, no spoiler alerts, we promise. We're not going to do this. We're going to tell you what we love about movies. So if you love movies, go see this movie for J.J. Abrams. Go see this movie for Harrison Ford. Go see this movie for the Wookiee. You know, but actually, what he did was he loves movies so much. And if you saw the 60 Minutes interview, Steven Spielberg talks about that he loved movies so much. That's why he became a mentor to him. And now he's actually, I don't want to say surpassed, but he's equaled him in terms of how much input he has had into society, right, culture of society. But he's taken a character like Han Solo and has created him beyond what he was before. And Harrison Ford has taken that character and has now embraced him and gave him to a new generation, much like, and we're not giving anything away here, but much like in Creed, which that writer-director has done as well, too. So it's a beautiful, beautiful choice. The film itself has got beautiful music. John Williams, what do you think about John Williams' job?
Well, Ray, I want to say the music is astounding. It's all-encompassing, as are the visuals. Whether you see this in 3D or whether you see it in regular, which I'm proud to say, seen it 3 times. Oh, what is that?
This is a character.
Here's the key.
This is. Don't keep talking. This is just a figure from a Monopoly board.
You love the music, but you're not paying attention to the music.
Yeah.
You're paying attention to the movie. When Rey, the new character, comes on screen, when you start to know her, when you start to know the stormtrooper, when you start to know the pilot, you have that same feeling you had 40 years ago, if you were lucky enough to see the original films. It is just marvelous. Just marvelous.
You know, one thing I want to highlight everyone too, please go out. I think it's the last, when I say last, January, maybe 5th, Entertainment Weekly. You go online, pull up, it's a 2-page article about Rey in Entertainment Weekly. It's not really editorial, but just look up about Rey in Entertainment Weekly. And it's about a gentleman who took his 2 daughters, 10 and 12, to the movie. They weren't big fans of Star Wars, but their brothers were. And they left there saying, wow, finally and I won't say it, but basically, wow, a character in Star Wars, Dad, who is worthy of being a hero. Okay.
Well, and Ray, as we wrap up our first initial broadcast, let's talk about our rating system. So when we go to see a movie, we're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 8, 8 being great.
Yes.
Right? 4 stars have been done. Thumbs up has been done. God bless them. We love them.
Yeah.
On our scale of 1 to 8, 8 being great, where do you rate The Force Awakens?
Well, I would have to say that it's an 8. Of course. It's got to be an 8, buddy.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. We could not start this show with anything more exciting than The Force Awakens. It's been wonderful for 20 years being your friend, Ray, talking about movies we love, movies we hate. Now we get a chance to talk to new friends. Ray, I'm really looking forward to the next 20 years.
Yeah, Dan, I am too. And please, as things keep going, we've got a great website that we're going to be pulling together for you guys. Things you've never seen before about films. We're going to want your input. It's going to be exciting. We're taking you into 2016 and beyond. There's going to be a lot of input you're going to have for it. Come with us on this great journey into film. Thank you for proudly joining us today as we investigate, appreciate, and have fun with movies.
We love you. We'll see you at the movies.
Peace.
Peace.